But thank you. It's all happened by accident.
Fully.
What, the podcast thing?
Everything, yeah.
No, all right. You see, I was selling Jig the other day. Say, yo, is Jig I was selling? No, I was selling somebody. Must be Dre. That yo, the thing I love about is that yo, you can professionally like can literally just talk about anything and just keep it going. And you guys are incredibly smart. I think I was listening to something and I don't remember which was listening to that you guys are interviewing, and you started to talk about something to do with some country, something to do with either the slave trade or something that effect. I said, yo, the depth of knowledge. I'm gonna have to check it to say, yo, if I bullshit or what.
No, you can always fact check us.
Yeah.
And even if you got one fact wrong, it's still delivered in a way that, yo,
there's enough confidence behind it that you'd believe it anyway.
Like what about Kanye thing, any religious leader, that's a key.
Yeah.
Every religious leader, yeah, will just talk like you mean it.
Yeah, straight.
Yeah, not even breaking this vibe. This is a good vibe.
No man, it's fine.
This is a good vibe.
No man.
What you say? Confidence to. Nobody gonna listen to somebody on a stage going like, well, but if you just say your bullshit with the utmost confidence.
Marcus Aurelius.
Yes.
Marcus Aurelius, the guy who took over after Caesar.
The footballer.
He was known as a master orator. Like he actually, when he was on Caesar's side, he was the one who was a speechwriter because he could get the people to believe anything. And then when he gave speeches himself, he was the one who said, "Lend me your ears." I think
Yeah.
he's the first one to say that.
Romans countrymen, let me hear.
Yeah. So like even
great way to start.
Like catch people.
Any podcast.
Yeah. Let me fucking hear for a while.
Let me hear for an hour.
Let me hear. But yeah, I mean, is all about confidence can carry you through a long way. As in a lot of people. I mean,
Donald. 45.
Yeah, man, Donald. But you see, Donald Trump, the phenomenon Donald Trump to me.
Man said the phenomenon.
So what else is it?
Damn right, he's a fucking phenomenon.
No, man, the thing with him now is that I can confidently say that probably with him is that I mean, the people. There's a side of America that was tired of like they needed somebody who. And the slogans that they created, "Make America Great Again," and
the white man was out of the spotlight for a while,
right? And then
he was a black president, and them never liked that shit.
And he had the confidence,
came back swanging.
Yeah, the confidence and everything like that to know that yes, I do these things and whatever I said. All these things and grab her by the pussy type thing and whatever and stuff like that. But guess what?
Gives you fire
Make Obama did do that.
Gives you fire soundbite scene of dog.
Make Obama did do that.
Who else giving them rap names like him? Crooked Hillary.
Wait, no? The man tweet the other day said in his boundless or endless wisdom.
Wisdom, right. With the turkey thing?
Yeah. Man said based on his judgment and his endless wisdom.
Humility peak,
dog.
Humility peak, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
fame shit make the deaf nose party, not a regular tasty party.
Is a backlash of everything. They had no real. And the thing about Republicans in America, well, I mean, the Republicans and that kind of far right thinking is that
Bob is like, yeah.
Generally, they are the ones who are truly fanatics. They always think they are the ones who think that they're right with everything, as in like, because a lot of them are hyper Christian.
So based on what you said about the Republicans in America, my hot take is that Jamaica is a right wing.
Oh yeah, man. Remember, it's a Christian country.
That's not a hot take. Jamaica's a Christian country.
Most of the
Jamaicans are Republicans for the most part.
For the most part,
I would tell you 100% that
older Jamaicans,
older, yeah.
I have family members who voted for Trump, and if I talk to them now, they're like, yeah, man, I mean, Hillary and the emails, and Mr. Dan, don't think much of Fox News, dog. No. You can't.
If you watch skewed media.
Yeah, thing like that. I mean, but you're not giving it no chance, Mr. Dan.
I have a family member, you know what I'm saying, voted for Trump. family member ain't been spoken to by pops again in the
I forgot them off.
What? Man's like, no.
And Trump will win 2020, you know, that's the hottest part.
That's what I'm starting to
The,
notice.
the problem that you might have to you might run into if he remains healthy and things like that is his mentality is that if he said that no, why don't I challenge the rule that they have to go down more than 2 terms?
I'd love to see that.
His ego would.
That's what I'm
love to
saying.
see that.
He has the ego to do that. He has the ego.
That happened twice before
Let
in
me tell
history,
you something,
right?
you know, the West
in
is
presidential
falling,
history.
you know. Right? 'Cause Britain,
You've been saying that for years, and I
For
feel like you're going to
years.
keep saying it until it happens.
it is happening.
Shalom, shalom, shanti.
Britain have come out of the EU. Boris Johnson was forced by Parliament to ask
Yeah,
for
well-
an extension. So the man said, all right, cool.
Well-
Man send the letter asking for the extension and don't sign it. And then him send another letter that him do sign and say, yo, that is the Parliament's letter. That is not my letter. I don't think it's a good idea.
I used to
We should leave by the end of the
I
month.
used to talk to a lady from Scotland and things like that, and I told her
Oi, oi.
when they're voting for the referendum to separate them, they say, you know, say una get it for hungry, because if una separate from the UK, they said the only thing that they have up there is that North Sea and the oil, and nobody want that their oil or anything like that. So it's like it's the same thing with England and Britain and the UK in a larger scale, because I mean when I do I also do tours, and
Definitely gonna get into that.
whenever people come out here from Europe or the UK, and I tell them that, you know, how they feel, and they ask me about, you know, talk about things and current affairs, and I say, yo, if you guys decide to leave the EU or whatever, you know what happened to your pound sterling would be worth nothing, because
Nothing.
you guys don't make anything. You guys don't have a population. The population that you had to continue your conquest was India. India was under British rule for a long time, and they used to send over things to get built and everything like that. Just check cricket. Cricket. If you point out cricket, that is the colonial. You have Australia, you have New Zealand, you have India, you have Pakistan. All these places had
old
British,
world.
the British influence and things like that, and a lot of Africa with Ghana. I mean, you know, have British people going there, and the companies going there, and they basically take over things and take their resources and own it up and things like that. If they decide to move
They
away,
move like a vampire. Them just feed and
right?
take.
They don't have the population to sustain themselves. They don't make anything to sustain them. There's no reason why the pound sterling is so revered, and it will have repercussions, great repercussions, if they decide to. That is one reason to hold up, because, you know, the older people say, "Oh, I want England," and, you know, want to take it back from the Europeans.
Color me the uninformed one here. Remind me, what's the driving factor of why they're saying they want to secede?
Racism, then. Racism and also xenophobia.
That was it. Xenophobia.
That
was
the
it.
right
Xenophobia.
wing,
I couldn't remember.
wing British politics.
I couldn't remember.
There's a
Thank you.
rise of right wing politics all across Europe.
Yeah,
all across the world. As a
Because
matter of
times
fact.
hard. When times hard,
Nationalistic. People
Right.
are shutting down and becoming more
when
isolationist.
times are hard, people are always going to look and say,
Me
"What?
first."
Me first. Why my country? You don't belong here. You're taking resources from me
Right.
and my family."
Pause right there before we get into the just that concept. When times are hard, me first.
That makes sense.
As we say, that makes sense.
Right. Which is why the American economy is doing well under Trump's isolationist policies.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, but then taken to an extreme. What? So there you go.
In the long term, it's not sustainable.
But
so
what you
it's
said,
good in a sprint.
America is a collection of 50. I mean, if
50 countries.
50 countries basically, you know, and they have the population to make. I mean, I don't have something Indiana. Oh, let me just go over to California and pick it up. Same rules, and the things are different. Each, and this is one of the reasons why we have our problem with the ganja thing, with the marijuana situation, is that it is not a state issue. It's a federal issue.
Right.
Federal mean all 50 states. That means that all 50 states would have to come down and
Oh no,
decide.
I know the thing with American weed is still drug money federally, which is why
Right.
them can't put their money in the bank.
However, recently in Boston, they, you know, passed some kind of, I don't know if it's a law referendum that will allow or put us along the steps of people being able to bank this money.
The weed money.
which
there was was it On Point, I believe they were talking, and they made just like a passing point, but it stuck in my mind. Canada does a lot of business with Jamaica cannabis wise now.
Yeah, man.
And it's
it's been legal a year now
and it's legal in Canada. Meaning
Yeah,
the banks, the Canadian banks,
Yeah, I
accept
mean, yeah,
the money.
weed ad agencies, as in like ad
So-
agencies is basically there to
Yeah.
promote weed products.
And the banks accept
you have
that money
T-Vape and all
in
these
Canada.
places.
So they were saying like, why not extend some of like that thought to a country like Jamaica, where you have the Bank of Nova Scotia so prominent here.
Well, I mean, unfortunately is that all it would take is Trump to say, or some, because we receive so many resources and things and aid
Sucking on Uncle Sam's teeth.
From yes, basically we have to do that because we can't. All right.
When we tried to go against it in the 70s, they fucked us.
Yes, with backside and then
No Vaseline.
with backside with Michael Manley and backside. If you look, I did one of the things I did in university was about backside trade, and we had the Russians and we had the Americans by the bars in a sense. However, unfortunately, what happened is that they came together and colluded and said that this small country shouldn't be able. We would go to British Guyana, which at the time, and British Guyana, Dutch Guyana, and those places to get our, even it might be inferior quality. I don't care. I want to break the backside industry. Make Michael Manley has his.
Oh, the man was like, yo, even if it's more expensive, even if it's like lower quality or whatever,
we're just not going to buy yours.
Not buying yours.
I'm going to invest. I'm going to buy. So he had to, or he
Some
had
Jew
to,
shit.
Right, he had to basically relent a little bit, and when he relent a little bit, it came down into a lot of things. And I mean, we still got a
man. Then put a 40% levy on the backside.
that 40% a lot of money in that. I mean, people about GCT is just 16.5, you know. And
Can you explain for the layman what a 40% levy on bauxite means?
Basically, you have to pay, if it's worth 100,000, you have to pay 140,000 for it.
Just cause we say so.
Yeah,
because them says so done.
Gunboat diplomacy at its finest.
basically.
Understood.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand we have to put these people in place.
Oh, straight.
These people meaning
Everybody that's not them. Everybody that's not them.
Let me tell you something. The fuck up thing about the backside in Jamaica is that electricity is so expensive out here that we can't even process the raw material.
no, we can't create aluminum.
So
we
we have
don't
to.
own
So we
JPS.
just sell the dirt. Oh.
And the
We
dirt.
don't own JPS.
Why would brother JPS uses mostly diesel generators? We just opened a solar farm. This
Big
month.
up to that. Let's be thankful for
We have a
progressive
couple of
movements.
wind farms.
These will put some stocks behind them shits.
There is no. You
No,
can't buy-
as I'm saying, you need
Yeah.
to put some stuff.
Something there. So we have rivers. We have so much potential for hydroelectricity.
Yeah.
We can do more and make electricity cheaper. First of all, we need competition. We can't have one electricity
Did
provider.
you know, fun fact, it is more expensive. You can fact check this, by the way. When I was told, I was like, what? And then I did because he's in the solar business. It's more expensive to cut yourself off completely from the grid.
Yeah, because you have to pay JPS to come off of the grid.
And that payment that you're paying is essentially like a year bill. So it's more expensive to wean yourself off of the bill and go like completely solar or natural energy than it is to just half and half.
But think about it like this then. It's like you're paying.
And if you cut yourself off the grid, any excess energy that you make, you can't keep. You have to sell it to them.
Which I was about to say is that you could think about it like you know, buying a house like a part of an investment. You paying that 1 year bill is like, yo, let me just pay this. And but when I come off and I start to generate, I can sell it and I can get back that and also save money.
It's nasty how the man them loot that, dog.
Well, I mean, I just telling you, say you have to. I mean, you have to find. I mean, everything that you pay for, as I said.
Solar panel prices have gone down 80% in the last 5 years.
Really?
Battery prices have not.
No,
So
it could be like
batteries is what fucks you when it
it could
comes
be
to
like print
those
and
things.
cartridges type thing. You
Yeah.
buy a printer, and the printer, yeah man, the printer cheap, and then you just two print and thing. You need a battery,
Yo,
you
this
need a cartridge.
Yep.
You have to buy a cartridge.
This is a
Expensive.
mad segue right here. You would know about printing more than all of us because you run Backyard magazine.
Well, I don't own a printer, but I just tell them
But
to
you
print.
know, like the prices and how much it must. Like,
Well, I mean-
it cannot be cheap to produce such a high quality magazine, sir.
No, it's
if you're
not.
watching,
Here it is. We got the evidence.
Well, I
very
mean,
nice,
all right, for us,
Wow. And gloss.
bro. It's
That's that thick paper.
the paper feels
hard
so
stock.
nice.
well, no,
That
well,
cougar.
cougar.
Shout out, check it out. Photographs. Who that?
Uncle Jake.
Chick, right there. Big up to Royal,
Royal
Blue,
Blue. There
all
you go.
friends of the pod. Yo, I really like the Jamaican Creative Space, dog.
We always keep the link
We'll
and stuff
always
like that.
keep the link. Oh, dog, these are
Keep the links
amazing.
thing.
Yeah, but the printing industry, as beautiful segue, as you said.
Yeah, dog.
Um,
Tell us about
the thing
this.
about printing magazines nowadays is that it's very expensive. And when we started years ago, I think it was more a common thing to people to try and think about doing this. But however, during the course of
I'm
the
still nerding out over this magazine. dog.
13 years or something like that, we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when people say, "Oh, digital will completely destroy the printing industry," but
I'm one of those people.
I have no problem with that.
I
But
don't think so.
no. Let me explain to you why you would think that and why you are not wrong neither. Is that
So,
what happened with printing of magazines and papers and that kind of stuff is that it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive, more expensive to put the digital space. But guess what?
Trees are dying.
No, well, I mean, you can always plant trees. But guess what? Digital space is something that's very hard to stick out in. It's very hard to create a routine for your followers or create a routine for somebody new to come and check you out every day. Let's say you have a website, not Facebook or anything like that, or Instagram.
like your own website.
How would you bring people to your and how do you
Sorry.
create your own segment for bring people every day? It's hard to. The return investment on magazines for advertisers never changed. It's just the fact that when people are advertising, invest in your brand, they invest that your brand is big enough that people pick it up and say it's a collector's item. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to cherish this. And once people have that thought, then whatever ad they put in there can last for as long as the person, the magazine, or whoever takes it from them, because we have a lot of situations where people have a magazine and their friends take it or their family members take it and they don't know where it is and that kind of stuff. And there's a part, I would say, 2008, probably 2010, 2011, where everybody was digital, but forgetting
When
that
the Kindle just came out and
and
such.
all that kind of stuff there, and everybody wants to do e-reading and that kind of thing. But people, there's a reason why vinyl has gone up and vinyl listening has gone up as opposed to CDs and opposed to MP3s, because there's something nostalgia aspect
Yes,
of
I
it.
say people are very nostalgic now.
And people like to feel.
That's the thing when it comes to like print, because like
So it wasn't all the same.
No, it was.
I
just realized I wanted to yes.
I
Oh,
always
okay.
say to people, do you prefer physical books or digital books? When they go physical, I say, why? Is it the smell?
Yes.
They go, yes.
It's the smell,
I
it's
go,
the
well,
feel. I like
it's
I like,
literally the
I like
smell and the
looking
feel
at
of
it.
the pages.
I like having the book. It like
Me,
Nope.
I have no problem having
I
an
de- I-
ebook
I like
on
decorating
my
my
phone,
space.
But when I take in a shit, I reading
That's
on my
the thing
phone.
about it is that the people who
I can have
the
like a
people are
million books
marketing
in my
to,
pocket.
and as I say, they're not dead yet. The people like Martin who like books, they're not dead yet.
Yeah.
The people. That's what I'm saying. Yet,
Yeah.
right?
Thanks, Bob.
That's what I said. Yet,
Yeah, man.
you know something.
Your time, your time will come. Don't worry.
Of course, all of us time will come.
not with this
They're gonna
new
lift it there, don't
science.
worry.
But there'll be a time
hope
where,
so.
it will be replaced in a sense. However, right now, the best way you can do it as a media agency or a printing people who do that kind of stuff is try to marry digital with your stuff as best as you possibly can. Create interactive PDFs, create apps that can do augmented reality off of the pages type thing.
See, something like that. Something like that. I'd fuck with augmented reality and offer the printed media.
People do that?
Yeah, man. I mean, that is. I guess I'm talking. That is our next step for Back AI. We're trying to, for next year, 2020, trying to do some augmented reality.
Yo, not bad! I'm sorry, dog.
I mean, augmented reality behind our pages.
Stuff like that, dog.
The idea is that we have a cover artist, we have any artist in there. We have the picture, you go over there with the app or whatever, and you get a piece of the interview, you get a piece of like they're performing, anything that you want. Just get 15 seconds, no, you get like a minute worth of like content, additional content, just piling on content
from the augmented
reality type thing and stuff like that.
And then you can keep updating the content, so like you come back to the
right. So you can boost your website and also boost your app or boost whatever value that comes to your product. You know, and that is
the more that's smart.
Yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
that's what it's very expensive and take a lot of infrastructure, but we're trying to build now, and I'm sure. Once it is done and everybody starts to do it, you have layered apps, you have all these layer apps, you have other apps that really create augmented reality for people that allows people to be immersed in whatever world you're building. Like with our earlier world building, you're trying to create. All right, for Jamaican content, it's very important for me for that we are not the only magazine that is there. Because every time there's a magazine and people ask me, oh, if we have other magazines come, I say, I give thanks, because every magazine that comes out, it validates your work. It validates that, saying that, yo, this person took their money and advertised in this other magazine. That means that you can probably go to this person and say, listen, you already advertised this magazine here with these people. Why can't you advertise with us? As opposed to thinking that if I'm the only one there, I'd sweat because I say, yo, nobody else not thinking about, nobody not doing this, and there's no value to it. It's like
what I said, what I always say, you operating from an abundance mentality. So like the space is there, you want the competition, it helps you grow.
Yeah,
most people operating from a famine mentality, like it's a finite amount of attention out there, and when you gobbled up, it gone.
That is silly. I mean, because if you're, I mean, not to say. I mean, the thought of
it's completely silly thinking from a famine mentality.
When the first interview I did was with Robert Livingston, or a Sick Run, a Big Yard, and he told me that, yo, the best thing you can do is have other people do your thing, because the first man make a car, and they won't make a car now. You see me? The first person make a TV, and another person make a TV now. The reason people see value in what you do, the more people out there you can. I mean, obviously you have to market your way as, yo, I'm the original, that type of stuff. But other people are there. When you create competition, you have gauges, you have price gauges you can gauge yourself against. If you
also can't be like a sissy. You can't see competition and fall. You have to like, all right, cool.
No, man, no.
I want to do good too. I want, like, it should force everybody to step up them game.
Yeah, you have to step up. The mentality that is just, I mean, naturally humans are selfish. You want everything for yourself. Want the hottest girl, want the hottest car, want the hottest.
It is strong.
Yeah, everything is, you want that. But the truth of the matter is that you have to understand that eventually for your life to be of any value, you have to share whatever you get. There has to be a sharing of wealth. You're not going to have all the money and sit down and because you have to buy shit. You know what I'm saying? And you yourself as a consumer, if I have all the money in the world, if I want to buy a yacht and things like that, and the next person have a next yacht and whatever, I want to compare the yachts and see which better value I can get. And who is going to make. And if I get a yacht and the yacht is a substantial value, then I can say, yo, I could get a better yacht at better prices at this place here and things like that. Why I didn't do that in the first place? And I just do that. Because we're talking about content, quality, value. We spend, for my publication, or I would say our publication, because it's not just me, it's my family as well. But for our publication, we always go all out on quality. Mentality, we always try to say, okay, We want to make sure we have the best photographers, best writers, best designers behind our product, because even though we know that it's very expensive, and
We can see the magazines, but for the couple hundred people that don't watch the videos, which you should,
watch the video, guys.
Backyard, what would you describe it as?
What describe
As in the brand, what is it encompassing? You know, you have like
initially-
men's fitness. You have
well, initially,
What's the blurb?
well, I mean, the blurb is long. So it's supposed to be a reggae culture magazine.
lit.
Initially it was supposed to be it's just what we're seeing right now is probably 70% of what we wanted it to be, you know, because when we started with like 20 pages and whatever, and we just got it together. And
Seen 20 pages no more, bro.
no, but the thing about growth is that you have to the thing with anything at all, when you start, you have to start it and continue. Consistency is important. Anybody who wants to start a podcast per se, you don't start and do 2 fire weeks and then just don't do it anymore.
Consistency is a bitch.
Consistency is hard, especially if you're not necessarily getting everything you need to get from it. But it's always important to keep it consistent, and that's what we try to do with this. Is that every year since inception, we put out at least 2 magazines, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, but every year at least 2 comes out.
You focus on like events or like the year in review or
for
the culture at the time.
Well, I mean, for the nature of the magazine, we absolutely cannot be what lots of Jamaicans love, which is like a celebrity rag type thing, like follow up, like we leave that to
Susan Gossip.
we leave that to
No,
we leave
M. We leave that to Star.
we leave that to Star or the digital pages, Pink Wall, and those places. You know, we can't compete with that. We couldn't compete with that
Straight.
because that kind of story turns over. What we try
Would
to
you
do.
want to though? Like it can't
me
feel good
per-
being like Harvey from TMZ.
No, man, it's good enough. It pays very well apparently, but it depends if you're
your
value.
soul though.
No, all right. You have
What's the monetary value of a soul?
when I was growing up,
3
you had something
Glumpkins.
called
3
daily.
what?
3 Glumpkins.
Okay.
How much is that company again?
I have no idea.
7 flurbles.
When you were growing up,
Where is that? Which universe is that? That's Harry
Rick
Potter?
and Morty.
No.
That's Rick and Morty.
Morty.
Oh man, I forgot. They're coming out soon.
Yes, but we're only getting a half
Season
season.
Yeah. But yeah, when I was growing up, we had Daily Inquirer, who like every week they had like celebrity gossip.
I love American tabloid magazines.
Those.
That, like not even the celebrity gossip ones, but
The
the ones
aliens
that
and
like the aliens
shit.
coming to
Man.
Yeah.
Them, I'm like niggas out here buying this, you know.
Yeah, man. Of
what?
Because you
course.
cannot run this magazine without people buying your product.
They're
you know.
not-
It is successful.
It is, and that's what I'm saying. It shows that people read anything once. And initially when we we'll say when we're growing up, people had the value in the gossip stuff. We try to promote. We use our platform to promote our culture. The name Backyard, I didn't come up with it. It came up between my cousin and my business partner, who is the graphic designer, the basic creative director behind this. One of them, to this day we still don't know who exactly came up with it. But
I'm gonna say you, because you have it tatted on your forearm.
no, it just happens to be
Tatted on your forearm.
tatted on forearm. But we when I was going to, I think I was going to Preview at that time, and I was doing this.
The dark days.
Yeah, I was doing this lit review on Emma.
Hello, darkness, my old
And at the Spark Notes, and on the back of the Sparks Notes, you see all the names of the magazine: Fresh from Yard, Informer Mag, all these kind of things.
Thank you for not going with it, Farmer.
We couldn't go with that. We couldn't go going with Informer Mag.
Thank you for not going with Informer back.
That would be-
that was
that would be-
definitely
you
the
have,
right choice. With
They have all kind of names at Backyard, and then I saw Backyard and I said, "Yo, that's a great name because of the fact that we
Shut up.
great name because of the fact that when I thought about it, we thought about the magazine per se. I was working overseas, and I was riding through New Hampshire, from New Hampshire to Florida, 3 days on Greyhound bus, which is
not fun.
not fun at all, especially if you want shit. You
Can't trust
have
that
to hold it.
rolling
You have to
bathroom.
hold that blood now.
Until like you stop at a mall or
No,
something.
you see, let me tell you something, man. Yo, 3 days on a bus.
Same bus?
No, same bus. We change in North Carolina, Wilson, North Carolina. I never forget what a white guy, redneck, came up to me and said, because we're going through fields and fields. And this guy,
Oh no.
this guy came up to me and was like, "So where y'all from?" Because like he saw me and my cousin. They say,
Where these black people come from?
and he's like, "Yo, we're from Jamaica. I love Jamaicans." I say, "Yo, ready? Go up on the bus." ready. Son, ready to go up on the bus. I say, "Yo, ready." I'll never forget that. But we're thinking about and the idea came to me when I saw going through Virginia. You have 7 miles worth of tobacco processing product like Virginia Slims, Marlboro, and all. I was thinking that, yo, why don't
And that's where the slaves did it.
right? Why can't we have something like that for
Ancestors
that kind of
inspired you.
industry for marijuana? So in my head, I started
Because
to think, I'm just saying. I was thinking. Hold on. Before you cut me.
Just
No.
stop touching your mic.
Oh,
can't.
okay. I was saying that, yo, why couldn't it? So I came back and I said I needed something to promote the use of that kind of thing. So we created the Culture magazine, and initially we didn't have that in there, and then after a while we started having space enough to put what we called good and natural Jamaican agriculture in there, which is spelled out ganja, and we started to promote like the use of hemp and all these kind of products and stuff like that. I know everything about the marijuana thing when it come on to, you know, the reefer madness and that kind of stuff. And the thought at the time that white women were more susceptible to
Being
to have sex
raped,
with black men.
to have sex with black men.
black and
If
Mexican
they
men,
smoke
if they
weed.
smoke this
smoke weed, that alone.
Even the name marijuana is that trying to make it sound crazy and foreign to the white people.
Wild Mexican tobacco.
Like, I would say that alone cause the lawmakers say no, this
Brother,
cannot.
it is a Schedule 1 drug in America at the same level as cocaine and heroin.
and
Saying that it has zero medicinal value.
right, and that,
Wild.
yeah, because of that little
So people can't even do research on it.
yeah.
Because to do research on a Schedule 1 drug, you have to get it from the government. And the American government uses weed with about 3% THC. That means bush weed to do them studies.
And well, I mean, and then at the time also you have the hemp situation. Hemp used to make everything with papers and kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
they were
hemp,
they were threatening the timber industry.
right?
That was the
And
paper
and,
industry.
and-
Paper man, them, yeah.
and what's and anybody would say how America runs off of lobbies. To say the reason why,
And
the reason why
the great big
they have this
Causes
big,
run
you have this
government.
big thing about the jewel and the vaping thing is because tobacco people's like, yo, ready,
Yep.
We're ready right now.
lobby, you have to jump on it.
I was like, yo, ready right now. What?
The guy at the
10 man
time.
10 man
Brother?
dead?
10 apart from the millions of smoking cigarettes.
Was it 10?
Brother?
Oh, the guy who led the charge for the lobbying against marijuana was William Randolph Hearst, because he ran a paper mill at the time, and in order to convert from using pulp to hemp, you'd have to use a thing called a decorticator. What heap of money at the time? Man, I was like, nah, dog, I could just burn the man them thing. So the man them did what? Just burn the man them thing, and to this day we're still dealing with that crazy white man shit.
To get paper from a tree, the tree going to take at least 15 to 20 years to grow to a proper size.
Yeah.
Right? You can reap a field of hemp 3 or 4 times a year.
Did you ever see one of the first cars they made, and they made the bumper out of hemp to show its strength? The man them literally,
Henry Ford made a car out of soybeans.
bruh, the man them literally was wailing on the thing with a hammer, and it was like clunk, 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 clunk. And the man was like, nah, there wasn't a value in that.
And to show it, that's to show you how strong the lobbies are, so you can see how much value can come out of this plant.
Money talk, bullshit, what?
And the only reason, and I tell you one, the only reason why we have this renaissance of marijuana use and
The government start make money off it.
well, just before that, they had like they had situations where people started to use CBD for the cancer research, nausea, and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And as more and more people start to do that, they say, okay, we're going to allow this. It helps with nausea. It helps with pain management. It helps with
Cuts epileptic seizures in half.
well, yeah, the epileptic thing is
appetite.
the appetite is a big thing when you're taking the chemo as well and stuff like that. So this value and this value basically allows everything else to come after. If you notice with us out here now is that, I mean, you have to go and you have to get even though it does work for anxiety and all that kind of stuff, you have to get a prescription to be able
Prescription, because technically we don't have legal medical marijuana in Jamaica.
Technically.
A doctor can just write a recommendation.
But
This might help him out.
yes, he's feeling very anxious at the moment. I met him in 5 minutes and
He's
I
anxious
can tell he's anxious because and then use it. So when we started the magazine situation, we always was promoting marijuana. We always promoting using marijuana, but we're always promoting the culture. The reason we have somebody asked my printer, actually, he's from Thailand, and I think his wife is from Japan, and they ask me all the time, "Oh, Amilcar, why you use artists on the cover?" And I was like, no, because for Jamaicans, artists and these people are our superstars, and that's the best way that we can use to promote and to get people to buy into what we're trying to push out.
In the words of the great Bob, niggas don't read.
Yeah.
But they will read once
Picture
you present it in a way that they like. I mean, majority of people, as I say, they don't read. But if you
Give them nice pictures.
give nice pictures and stuff like that, they might
For
read
things
a lot.
that they like.
Right, for things that they like, and we are giving them what they like.
Yeah, straight.
And we give them what they like in a very high quality,
Beautiful covers, man.
right? And that's what we're trying. That's what we're trying to do.
Fuck all of that, man. It's just the paper quality alone.
Is that you stuck on?
Fuck everything else.
I
man.
found my
Listen,
favorite part flipping through earlier,
This
and
shit-
it's the last page back here.
You know when you
Patois,
buy a book,
Yeah.
How
that's-
to speak Jamaican.
this is the part that catch the tourists.
Patois
brother,
876.
you remember them $20 notebook they used to buy in a prep school and primary school? The one them with the pink cover, the say no to drugs. You know them something that is just flimsy. You know that was meant to last you like a couple of weeks. This shit feel like something you put on your shelf and you're gonna have to dust it off. Cause when be there long enough to gather dust.
That is why we try to put it as, I mean, like I said, we spend a lot to try and make sure that the quality is there, that the content will last, and we have the benefit of
I like what it says, the legendary.
well, I mean, that's a
yeah.
recent change because my business partner, creative director, decided that we've been around long enough. We need to make them know what going on. Initially, this is the other one. Let me see if I have the other one here.
The legendary.
Don't hate.
No,
Right,
that's strong.
Originally, this was how the cover was with reggae roots, rhythm, dancehall culture on it. Right, and that is how we tried. But recently, he said, "Okay, you know what, Amil, we've been around long enough. Make people know, say that our name is strong, our brand is strong. So let us leverage ourselves off of that, and that's what we call ourselves, Legendary Backyard. You know, we're
I like the name Backyard.
Well, I mean,
you sell these
overseas, yeah.
overseas.
Like I said, we print.
It
we
make you
print.
feel like
We're printing. We're
Backyard.
printing Lauderdale, Miami, Lauderdale, and we distribute in Miami, Lauderdale, New York, and we're trying for Atlanta. But we are not going to. What Bob. I hear Bob. Right, Bob. What Bob said initially was very true. The digital space is very important for us because we have people not calling, but messaging and emailing, and say they want things and they want the magazine, and we have to get it here, or we have to stay up there. We have to ship it to them wherever they are. Now, what we want to do is to bring the content to a level where online that people can go on there, they can do an ebook thing and download the interactive PDFs and get that kind of value from it as well. So that is kind of the next step we're trying to do. And if they want the printed version, they can always link us back and we just sort that out as well and send it over to them. But then we send it over them with the augmented reality type thing that we're trying to do as well. So we really, is the name Backyard is just for all information and the culture. Backyard, we're trying to give it to them at this period of time.
I like that.
And
I like that.
For luckily for us, we have a good track record, a pretty good track record of if we interview and deal with artists and things. Most of the time, these artists have gone on to do great things.
Yes.
And stuff like that. But yeah,
I like that. Yeah. The only other, well, not only other, but the last brand name I heard that really, brands give you a vibe was shout out to Down the Road JA. That is like, that sounds fun.
Doofy.
Like down the road tours. It's like, yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, man, bridging that, man.
Backyard, I'm like abroad or whatever, living at home, walking through, picking up stuff, and I see Backyard, and I see like them people's on the cover. I mean, pick that up, and like Bob said, it feel high quality. Magagum with a couple copies.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people. I mean, majority of our sales, I think, would be at the airport. People picking it up and just before they leaving, they say, "I need this."
So let me read this.
Carry a piece of Jamaica with me.
Yeah, exactly, and things like that. And
how'd you know it's Jamaican? Couldn't tell.
That's my favorite thing. Yeah, the man trimming in the barber chair and he had the Jamaica flag. You say,
how'd you know it's Jamaican?
How you know it's Jamaican?
Like, I don't know, bro.
Tell you something. Jamaicans are the most proud people when it comes to like our nationality.
So we're not for proud, Bob.
But we don't like, we're not nationalistic at the same
all. At all. We are the most proud.
It don't make any
sense. The most nationally proud.
We love Jamaica people. When we're winning. Make we lose. We lose. Fuck Jamaica. Fuck this country. Fucking
no. What it is, dog. We can shit on Jamaica.
Yeah, nobody else can.
Nobody else can come with that smoke for Jamaica at all.
You know. All right. The thing about, I mean, I'm probably a little bit older than you guys or whatever. But
so we.
Yes, a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
But the thing about it is that, for me, I've seen like how people act when they've been migrating to different circumstances. I mean, better circumstances and worse circumstances. And one thing remain consistent is that the Jamaican life.
Jamaica is the nicest place in the world to live.
For a third world country. For a third world country.
If you have money. We ain't bad if you have money.
For a third world country, we have a pretty good.
Pretty fucking good, yeah.
You know, our I mean, one of the critical things that happened for us was the creation or the invention of a satellite dish. And we are very close to the Caribbean basin.
When Jamaicans started getting dish, brother.
We had the shortwave radio as well. So wait, all right. Shortwave radio allowed people like in the 50s to hear music from Louisiana, jazz, and that basically helped to form our ska industry because we use a lot of jazz influence.
I mean, we were one of the most technologically developed countries in the world at one point. We were one of the first countries on this side of the world to get plumbing,
train lines.
What happened?
We outlived our utility to the motherland, and we were cut off.
Right, exactly. I think for England, when people always say, "Yo, we should have stayed more," listen, man, hear what I'm saying to you. Anybody who,
I want to go off on a tangent because I heard somebody say that earlier in the week, and I didn't know how I felt
should
about
have stayed
it.
Dependent.
And I was like, "Yo, worst thing that ever happened to is always an old man. Worst thing that ever happened to Jamaica was in the bank. Worst thing ever happened to Jamaica, when the man them decide to go independent." And in my head, I was going, "Huh?"
Like
you know what with that is that
means?
if we are
everybody's Cayman.
If we stayed dependent on England, we would be probably in a worse situation than I would say how Suriname is treated, how the ABC Islands are treated by the Dutch and stuff like that.
Shout out, Yad.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it's a very
fuck the Dutch.
It's yeah. Well, I mean,
sorry.
Dutch and the slavery thing is
fuck the Dutch.
Yeah. But for example,
and fuck how they treat Suriname.
Yeah, they deal and you have to
fuck France. Let me get on France. since we're here.
Come on, go ahead. No
Because France, they're the worst when it comes to colonies.
Worse.
The absolute worst.
Absolute
brother.
worst. If you see how francophone
Jesus
Africa
Christ.
it lives, you will understand why people say so.
Fuck France, man.
I don't mean to laugh at such a serious topic, but it's just how Bob just went off on like, alright, fuck you.
No.
Alright, while I'm in my fuck you bag.
Yeah, yeah, and like Albania and North Macedonia are trying to get into the EU, and France objected to both of them. And every member of the EU has to say okay for them to come in. France objected. Why? Because fuck y'all. This is my EU.
What the French?
Fuck France,
What
man.
the
Fuck
French?
Macron. Macron is married to him teacher, you know. The woman was him teacher in high school, you know.
Is that
I'm
illegal?
nasty.
So I'm living in
He's
dream.
nasty. He's what? No. He's nasty.
Like, you never had that fine.
For a lot of young men.
That's the dream.
Listen, all right.
You never had that fine high school
Man wife is
teacher.
a bad 20 years older than him.
Oh, not about 20 years. If you, all right. Let me say, if you had a
vagina, Bob.
if you had a chance, or not you specifically, but you have some young teachers that just come out of school, and you are, let's say you are 15 and she's 22. That's not a bad day.
That's fine. His
But
teacher's 20 years older.
That is wrong.
Vintage.
That is
dog.
wrong.
That is wrong.
Why?
That is
They're both
wrong.
adults.
His wife is 20
They're
years
both
older than him.
adults, dog. Vintage. What are you talking about? He wanted to play tennis with someone
That's
been playing.
Tales from the Crypt like thing.
Nah, that's disgusting, man. Fuck Macron.
The man is raiding the tomb.
Come on, dog. He wanted to play Tomb Raider with like a level
It's
16, not a level 2. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
The man is
Fuck that
living.
guy. France shit on all them colonies. France charged Haiti gold because Haiti became independent.
Haiti had to pay for their independence
Right.
after they revolted.
Yep.
Let me tell you something, man. What Haiti had to.
Guadeloupe. What else is Guadeloupe? French Saint Martin.
Martinique.
And Martinique.
What you're saying about what Haiti had to?
No, I was saying with what Haiti with the what happened with Haiti and what France did to Haiti is one of the worst things that you can. The
Fuck us.
systematic destruction of that country because. And they were allied by United States because I mean you know Louisiana was a part of the reason why I mean the French Louisiana is
French Louisiana.
yeah so
basically.
French Quarter and
Yeah.
Louisiana is basically a mix between French and what with Haiti was and they sold them.
Fun facts about Louisiana while we're here.
Go ahead.
The name Cajun,
Yes.
the word Cajun, comes from a group of French settlers from Canada called the Acadians, who were kicked out of Canada, and they went down to Louisiana, and the word Acadian was corrupted to Acadian. Cajun. There you go.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Very fun. And also they like I said, they steal a lot of their culture from Haiti and that kind of stuff.
No,
so.
France literally punished Haiti because they're like, yo, y'all niggas want independence? All right, take it. But guess what? Nobody in the world is going to trade with your country.
That is the thing that we as a country
What?
almost got into that. If
Hold on.
if Michael Manley won in 1980,
80,
I believe
we would have been
the
cut
US
off,
would
yeah.
have cut us off.
We would and we would have allied closer with Cuba and Russia.
right.
And then we would have suffered in
my
the
uncle
90s.
loves to tell the story that
Thank God who didn't.
No, we just started suffering from the 80s.
I liked the 90s.
in the night just before 1980 election, no food stuff was on the shelves or anything like that. Yeah, man, they were saying that there's no milk or anything for the baby, which was me. So there was nothing at all for everything was beginning to be cut off because they were seeing our alliance getting closer with Castro. I mean, not saying that Russia wouldn't help us and that kind of stuff, but I'm saying it'd be highly unlikely. And what happened in, let's say, what happened with Maurice Bishop and what happened with the coups and the invasion and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
Maurice Bishop, dog.
easy, man.
I don't know how America is allowed to just be the world police.
Done. Let us not be. Remember, we're using American platform.
You just walk. You can't just walk in a man country and say, "Hey, you might be dangerous." I'm gonna shell you.
We are using American platform to put this out to the world. It might be seen as anti.
Also did it to Nicaragua.
Bro, after 90 episodes of Bob doing this, they I know what time it is.
Next time I fly, them when pull me into the room.
Yeah, you don't want
Unlock your phone.
That's not the only thing they will unlock me, Dan. You have to go easy.
Rough.
You have to go easy. You have to go easy because they will probe you.
Oh God.
But seriously, what they definitely did or they wanted to do was basically ostracize us and basically create a trade situation with us, and we couldn't manage that. We could have never managed that. If that happened to us,
Slap way.
even a 4-year situation, we would have been.
Haiti got independence in what? Late
No, that's
1700, early 1800s.
Yeah, January 1st. Yeah.
Somewhere around there, so, and they weren't. No other country would trade with them.
Imagine that. and we who would depend, and then you have people out here. I mean, not out here, but you know, our migration policies, our migration situation is foreign, Canada, UK. That is just that's what we're thinking of.
That's the only other places in the world.
Yeah.
So, if you won't be able to go foreign and don't enjoy that, we'd have agents coming here, Jamaican agents coming here to destabilize and probably kill, or try to kill or destabilize our government, because that is what they.
So just a more effective thing of what the CIA did.
So,
but
back to what Bam says, that we did start to suffer from the 80s because of, you know, Thiago's link with Ronald Reagan and that kind of stuff. But we would have suffered much more. So it's like a lesser of two evils, I would believe. Because guess what? How could we stand?
I tell you, if me get Jamaica, you know, go lock it down, you know. love it or leave it, you know.
Weren't you talking about the harmfulness of isolationist policies?
No. I said they're good in the short term.
Oh yeah, right.
I will bring this country off its knees and to its feet. Afterwards, we can go play with everybody else.
So, Supreme Leader,
yes.
How would you do that?
How? Well, as I said, love it or leave it.
So you'd be like Michael Manley say 5 flights away. Okay.
There are 5 flights every day. More in Mobile.
More no, because
yeah. So you can leave if you want. All foreign-owned companies nationalized. Are going the Chavez route. Just going to take your shit.
But what happened to Chavez? Remember what happened to Chavez though?
America gave him cancer.
I was thinking that.
How they gave him cancer?
I wasn't thinking that.
Plutonium poisoning.
That would be easy.
Yeah. America gave him cancer. And then a bus driver took over and fucked Venezuela. A literal bus driver took over the country
Supreme
and just
Leader,
drove it off the road.
Focus.
No man, make him go on.
But yeah, so I'm going to stop the brain drain.
Yeah. What gets up brain drain? Because it's a 5 flights a day. If it's a 5 flights a day, obviously, because
not everybody can leave, you know.
No, but Supreme.
Not everybody can leave.
But Supreme, listen to me, Supreme. If you say 5 flights a day, and I'm a skilled person, I'm a worldwide
then you're not
engineer.
You're not going if you want to leave. But guess what? I'm going to improve the conditions under which a skilled person like you would work in this country. So you see, like how Cuba have it with the doctors.
Okay.
Everybody's a fucking doctor in Cuba.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So you're gonna be a communist?
No, communism can't work. Communism is against human nature.
Human nature is to be selfish, remember?
Yeah.
Means to get as much things as you can get,
acquire as much as you can.
We need to, the interior of Jamaica is underdeveloped.
True.
So we we decentralize the country. We take some government offices out of Kingston and move them to like
but Supreme,
other random cities.
Supreme, you're going to increase the transportation, like with road networks and stuff like that for everything.
You'd have to.
You'd have to, okay.
But we couldn't let the Chinese do it. We'd have to do it ourselves. And
couldn't never go down.
But Supreme,
Granadai, right?
Granadai, right? Yeah.
We have the necessary resources here
really large
to build concrete roads from local material.
Not concrete roads. Roads that grip better traction wise than tarmac roads.
What you mix it in with?
It's granodiorite, lime, and a couple other stuff.
But we have everything here. Can make it.
The only problem I have with the Supreme is that, as we said initially, is that
the only problem with my plan is foreign interference.
From my perspective, the only problem
is people.
Because you said it earlier. I don't know which part I'll come in before.
Jamaicans consume on an American level.
Jamaicans are nationalistic and not nationalist.
Yeah.
Are not national. So it'll be hard, Supreme, forget even a cabinet. It'll be hard to get 10 man.
Man says,
This is mine. No, I get experts from all industries. You see, I believe your minister of agriculture should be a farmer.
Supreme, you know what happened? Is that
No, shoot you.
unfortunately.
No, that's why I won't be the face guy.
Oh, you be. Oh,
If I have a face guy,
so the face guy, you'd have to get 10 face guy because they'll shoot every single one
that's
of them.
fine.
One a month.
That won't get me.
Okay.
That's not my problem.
Oh, life
I just
cheap,
need
eh?
to build enough confidence in me that I keep getting people to go die for
You
me.
have to clone, like you have to clone somebody or
But
whatever.
I was watching a documentary today about
Man going to
dark
Palpatine
tourists.
Mm-hmm.
This guy who go to like morbid tourism spots. So I'm go to like he was in Colombia. and
Morbid like the
associated with like not necessarily like
the
most tourism
like the
things is
suicide
fun.
forest in
Yeah,
Japan.
something like that. But like he was in Medellin, Colombia,
That's so fucked up.
where,
Like, they don't cut that shit down.
where what name? Pablo Escobar was from, and when we'd have a
Medellin.
cartel.
Medellin.
And while he was there, he buck up in this dog named Popeye. One
When you say dog, you mean literal dog?
no, a man.
Okay,
Named
okay.
Popeye, who was he was locked up in prison with Escobar. And the man is just there talking about how him did have to kill all these people, and the host of the show keep hanging on the point that yo dog, you killed your girlfriend, like isn't that's where I would have drawn the line. Man say, yo, she was trying to sell out Pablo to the DEA, and Pablo is like God to me, so himself a donor, I'm a donor. I'm like,
I should laugh, but so you say it, and I know that's exactly
the man was just nonchalant about it.
Like the American meds is just like, how could you do something so so horrific?
And then he
Man's
said
like,
it to the guy,
well,
man said, listen,
man's
we
like-
grew up in a different place.
Man say, well, Pablo
Man said
like God.
the gun
Pablo
was
like
the
God
only
to me.
way.
Listen, your God told Abraham, carry him one son, to drop a knife.
In the show, he said like, what's it, led by
Pomo or plato?
Yeah.
Pomo or plato.
Lead or gold? Which
Yeah,
one
you
you want,
take the
man?
money and you take the gunshot.
Brother, man's
They
like,
also in the same show they spoke to a policeman that said, yo, the only reason he's alive today is because he took bribes when Escobar was in power.
Yeah.
Because if him never take the bribe and was going dead.
I'm still laughing at just how casually I can imagine the man said it.
Yeah, the
and
man
how
was
like
just like, yo.
it probably just whitewashed the reporter.
Man
or
said,
the,
yo,
the
man, yeah,
interview.
because the dog kept getting hung. He was so hung up on the fact that, yo, you killed your girl. Like, I know you kill all these other people, but you kill your girlfriend, dog. Man said, yeah, she was trying to sell out the Don, and the Don said, done it, someone done it.
Yeah, because I mean, as I said, the
Yeah, he's
level
like
of
God
like,
to me.
and that is your problem, Supreme. Your problem is that most of Jamaicans or Jamaicans who have some form of sense, or
Them not ride like that,
They're not
dog.
going to ride for you like that. They're riding for because alright. Not to say that we're
So I need
a
to
nation.
infiltrate the army.
You're not a nation of sellouts per se.
We're not a nation of sellouts,
Jamaicans
but
are very
Jamaican man have
selfish people.
sense. Jamaican
But-
man have some amount of self-preservation.
But my contention has always been the only reason we don't have like a real revolution is that every man feel him a star.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why
That's why our football team isn't good as well.
Nobody no more than me.
That is why
Yeah.
that is why
Nobody no more than me. The basis of every
that is
Jamaican
why
problem.
most of the time when that's why people can see artists on the road and say, oh, I know somebody better than me.
Yeah.
Or
We
me
don't
can
have
do
a
better.
celebrity culture because who that you know more than me.
Exactly, and that also allows the fact that allows us to keep us safe because there's no uprising. No, kind of take if all the man them who could have
Everybody wants to be the leader.
everybody would have been the leader. Because you can't have one lane or one street and claim and say, yo, man, leader for that street.
Everybody's Madonna.
And then the next street,
I'm
man,
a
I say, yo, so all them for call up to one dad, no, it not gonna work that way. It not gonna work that way. Then everybody go and say, yo, more
It's
all
okay.
that thing.
I'll get there. Don't worry.
police
I'll create a police state.
captured what was his name? Not Pablo. The one who always like just kept skipping El Chapo.
Capture him son.
Capture him son. And
the man gang just shell the entire
brother,
police force.
brother, the man
Dog,
named
like,
capture him son and the man named gang just go, what them do? Alright.
Done them.
What the shell them? Alright. What do you mean by
The
them?
man them was driving through the town.
Body were in the way before we get him back. I got done them.
The man them had
dog-
miniguns on the back of pickups.
Brother, the man them was rags in 50 cals on
Yeah.
the back of V. You
The-
understand the car don't move properly,
the,
but gunshot a beat same way dog.
The video of it was when the best video of that was when the guys came to the security post and saw the soldiers like, yo, oh yeah, we'll shake the man because the man is outnumbered and outgunned and the man was shake the man was let them through
Yeah.
because
What am I gonna do?
Because the man really would have, and people that say, oh, Ray, and JDF and all them thing. You see, hear my setting.
No.
Here is it. If the
gunman them gun bigger than the police gun.
And them organized.
Yeah, they're much better than the police.
That is the difference maker, you know. They're
If
organized.
if the conditions were the same, and they had the JDF versus them man, they would have win. Because they had more firepower.
Easy.
And more firepower is
the man them was literally using RPGs and miniguns.
Man them was target
the man them go straight
with
Call of Duty, brother.
on the way to get back the man. They're just like literally like if it breed it dead.
Yeah.
And just cleaning the streets. The police literally have to be like, dog, it don't make sense. We going to lose. Everybody are dead. Just give him back.
Brother. Let me tell you something. I was watching a documentary about how the cartels have their hands in the avocado trade.
Mm-hmm.
Man said drugs just go everywhere. Even when you buy pear, you're supporting drugs.
Well, and I think the question of the day, or the question for the world leaders, is that how long are you going to make it illicit? Because once you make it, if you regularize it and can profit from it, it drops the price.
Legalize it.
Portugal does not have illegal public drugs.
You don't. You get a black market when you mix up illegal.
But then the question that go back to marijuana and stuff like that is that it was never so serious. My answer to that was always, and alcohol was much more dangerous.
Fuck yeah.
And
alcohol
it is
no. There's no direct proven death from marijuana ever.
No overdose, no nothing. The thing about it is, and you have the stigma of you become
in Jamaica, lazy people. When you smoke weed, you're
lazy or you get schizophrenia or you get
drive you mad. People are gonna put lizard tail in your spliff.
Right, lizard tail is true. Still, lizard tail rough. Yeah.
Is it an actual lizard tail?
I think so.
Or is it cocaine?
I think the thing is cocaine, and then put lizard tail with it, or somebody tried lizard tail with it, and it had an adverse, and it became urban legend. But most I think is coke or some kind of, or them soak alcohol in it or something, or they alter it some way.
Some way to fuck you up, dog.
And once them alter it,
don't
that's
smoke a spliff if you never see it.
Right,
man.
you have to build your own spliff.
Real talk.
Build your own spliff, people. Do no pre-roll though. Don't do pre-rolls.
Real talk. Like
build your own spliff. Learn how to build your own spliff.
Agreed.
Well, if you're doing a pre-roll from a company or not company or a dispensary that you trust. But don't take pre-rolls from people on the road, madam.
I remember
that is ridiculous.
I was at a major laser party one time, spliff lit, and this random dog just walked past and was like, yo, give me a hit. And I was like, fuck it. Take two, my done. Cause weed make you like, just like, yeah, everybody must have some. I don't know this motherfucker. And I'm like, yo, dog, you could have dead out the road, you know. You could be giving me meningitis.
Meningitis. a little bit of the lip up.
Yeah.
A little bit of the lip up there.
Herpes.
You see, you come back with a night fever.
Man.
Every night fever.
You don't have to joke. We're here today.
Oh, this has been a great podcast.
We're here today.
No, but seriously, there's so many political things that tie with the drug trade that you probably...
So just sell the drugs anyway, guys.
Sell it to your...
Don't get caught.
Yeah, if you get caught...
I never tell you nothing.
If you get caught...
Snitches get stitches.
If you get caught, just wait 5 years or so, and everybody will observe...
They'll expunge your
expunge, which is something that they probably will never do for everybody because they
did it somewhere in America.
Somewhere, but guess what? Here's what I'm saying to you. They have so many people in the prisons that do so much good slavery work.
Yes. No, it's real talk.
The 13th slavery work.
The 13th Amendment of the American Constitution says that slavery is abolished except in the cases of prison.
Right. That's Ava DuVernay did a show about it, did a documentary about it.
Literally written down that niggas in prisons is slaves.
Right. So
you have to do anything we tell you while you're there.
And if you have our color, even yours.
They look Hispanic.
No, I mean you could have passed the name the guy that
Bob with that tattoo on your arm. Our Akbar.
That's true.
You that dog.
That's true. I would definitely be randomly selected
at the airport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a difficult thing. You wear a beard or whatever. They wear a turban or whatever. But yeah, they're more likely to draw down on people like us and keep us in prison for anything. So and
look at hard labor.
Yeah, cause
break some stone.
we're biologically stronger than them man. So
I mean, that's the white man is inferior, you know.
I can't tell that because I don't know that many of them.
No.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the BamCast.
Look how far him go for thief the black man.
If I go all the way over there, so
Look how far the man go. I
we
say,
go
yo,
over there.
I work here hard, I can't do it. I forget somebody, okay?
I don't know because him get to other people before and it's like, yo, them man they can't manage.
No, the white man.
BamCast, as always, is the home of the anti-PC. Thank you guys for listening. Shout out to California Apparel. Promo code BAM20. 20% off anything you've ordered.
Watch the video, guys.
Shout out to Dre for all the lower thirds and the intro, all the cool stuff. Thank you, Boom Draw of Physics, for intro and outro song. Bobby B was our co-host today, as per usual. And we had one of the best guests in a real long time. You actually didn't tell them who you are, you know.
Oh, my name is Amilcar Lewis from Backyard Magazine. Yeah, well, that is it. Amilcar Lewis from Backyard Magazine.
I'll put
and
his
also
info in
Kingston
the bio.
Guided Tours.
I'll put all his info and stuff in the bio.
Oh yeah, big up all the people who work at Backyard, Jake, Gladstone, Lizzie, Kathy, Warren, all the people. Audrey Lewis as well.
Dropping bombs on the moms.
That happened to my mom.
Did we
still
big
as
up
well.
everything?
Yes, we did, Bob.
You sure? No. Big up the Jamaica Podcast Network.
Oh,
Yeah, big up
Big
Jamaica
up the
Podcast.
Sister and Brother Podcast. Nets Chat.
Earning
Penny
season.
Section. Earning Season. Yeah. Fuck car alarms.
Who?
Dropping bombs on the moms.
Fuck car alarms. I
There
said
you go,
it.
there you go.
Oh, car alarms. Okay.
Fuck.